2024 will be an odd F1 season. In that, for the first time ever, every driver who finished the 2023 campaign will be back in the same seat. For 2024, there are no new tracks joining the schedule. The technical regulations are remaining stable as well, so everything feels rather static. However, there are plenty of changes in the offering. First one is the sprint format. While yet to be officially confirmed, the meeting of F1 Commission at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix made clear that major changes are going to be made to the sprint weekend format. In 2023, the sprint shootout was added to in effect. Separate qualifying session for the sprint was held on Saturday morning before that race in the afternoon. But the feeling was this format created too many problems. Firstly, just after 60 minutes of practice, cars would enter Parc Fermé after Grand Prix qualifying, locking them into a setup for the rest of the weekend. In the United States, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc were disqualified from second and third for excessive plank wear that Mercedes and Ferrari felt came from limited practice running to determine the right height. As such, format and Parc Fermé changes are being discussed ahead of another 6 sprints in 2024 taking place in China, Miami, Austria, the United States, Brazil and Qatar. Next up is the Grand Prix of China and Imola. 24 races were originally on the 2023 calendar before China was cancelled due to COVID restrictions. The Imola Grand Prix being called off due to heavy rain and the idea of running an international sporting event in a disaster zone and directing away emergency personnel from search and rescue efforts not being the best. But both return in 2024 with China set to host its first race since 2019. F1 has not visited Shanghai since the outbreak of COVID-19, with the last race being the 1000th World Championship Grand Prix. Next up is the new team names. Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri will no more be in 2024. Alfa Romeo ended their title sponsorship of Sauber, who have since announced a deal to be known as Stake F1 team for 2024 and 2025. This is a preparation for Audi's arrival in 2026. As for AlphaTauri, its new name is still to be announced, with the team set to enjoy closer collaboration with Red Bull under its new leadership of Lauren Mickes and Peter Weir. Technical regulation remained the same, but the FIA has changed the rules around protests. In 2023, Haas submitted a right of review request nearly 2 weeks after United States Grand Prix, as it felt new evidence had come to light over track limit violations in Austin that were not penalized. Stewards threw the case out, but the FIA felt that having uncertainty about a race result so long after was far from beneficial, and so has moved to close that time frame to just 4 days. Qatar Grand Prix in October was a mixture of unfortunate events that combined to take a serious effect on the health of drivers. Firstly, the track itself is already physically demanding with multiple high-speed and high-G corners, which coupled with lack of wind for cooling impacted the drivers. This added to the fact that every driver was pushing flat out, as an 18-lap maximum stint length had been imposed on safety grounds meant that the drivers took a battering. Esteban Ocon vomited in his helmet. Lance Stroll claimed he lost consciousness behind the wheel, while Logan Sargent retired with severe dehydration. As such, the FIA has mandated that the cooling scoops will be on every car in 2024 to channel more air into the driver, with other options also under consideration.